Hello everybody, it is me Darcy. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to the podcast, the Unnamed Podcast, where I sit here with this guy for a bit of time, doing some stuff, talking some rubbish, and whatever else comes to my mind. And this is a very special edition of the podcast because this is the Halloween episode for the year 2024.
Yes, indeed.
And it is. And yes, that means we'll be ignoring most things spooky because that's how it is.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Other than them spooky cats, there is nothing spooky in the world.
True.
Anyway, moving right along from that, we'll start things off as we often do with a little bit of channel news. Kris, take it away.
Okay. Well, as it is Halloween week, we are releasing a video every day this week.
Indeed we are. It's a lot of work.
For you, yes.
Yeah, I'm sure anyone
take much for me.
I'm sure anyone who's ever been on the channel knows that I was referring only to myself.
No, but
Nothing.
I like to just say as well.
No, nothing.
Hey, look. I play the games. And I show up for the podcast.
Yeah, that's kind of like the one thing I think if you watch Halloween week, you might notice a little bit more than almost ever. It's like, oh, it's Kris playing most of these games. Yes, because I have to get him to do some work for this.
Indeed. Yeah.
Otherwise, it would just be me doing all of the work.
I could have done that.
Yeah, you could have.
But anyway, on Monday, our first video,
Yes.
I checked it. It's Alien Isolation. My first playthrough of Alien Isolation.
Yes, correct.
Hadn't seen the alien yet, but
No, because the Alien in Alien Isolation, it does take a little bit of time to get to the Alien Isolation. It's a classic game, and apparently it's getting a sequel, so a really good time to actually put it up for Halloween week.
indeed,
And possibly something to continue on with, because if it is getting a sequel, I'll have to do some research on that about its sequel, but if it is getting one, yeah, we should probably play the first game, because it's always rare when a game gets a sequel out of nowhere. What's even rarer is for a game that's like 15... It's not 15 years old. Could it possibly be 15? Like 11 years old.
we'll say that.
It's like 11 years... No, I can tell you it's definitely 11 years old.
Well, yeah. Well, how about when you're editing this, you just put it up on the screen to say how many years it actually is.
It's between 11 and 10.
Well,
because...
okay, fair enough.
It came out with the Xbox One.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
So I'm just trying to think. It probably came out end of 2013.
Okay, yeah.
Or early 2014. But like when I say it was for the
Sounds
Xbox
right.
One, it's like for the original, like when they had the Kinects with them,
Oh, yeah, those ones.
because it had noise.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, but
Yes.
wasn't received well when it first came out, obviously.
But yeah.
Because no one really understood it, and it was definitely ahead of its time, if you think about it.
Fair,
Like,
yeah.
I think the Outlast would probably... I think Outlast out then?
Oh, one of them might have been.
There was a few games like it out, but it
Yeah.
did things a lot differently. The alien hunting you was a lot smarter than almost any other game because it had two AIs controlling it.
True.
The graphics are fucking phenomenal. Like, there's no fucking denying it. The game looks freaking brilliant. Just twist that a little bit, like, there we go.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, the game looks absolutely brilliant, and it's set in the Alien world. It's probably the best Alien game ever made. Not that there's a super high bar to clear there,
No.
but I also think that a lot of people were like holding off on it because of the Alien game that came out before it, which was Colonial Marines,
Yeah.
which was a terrible game and had nothing to do with aliens and was full of spelling mistakes in its code, which is why the aliens are so stupid.
Oh,
So,
okay.
Yeah, so there's a whole bunch of stuff there, and then this game came out, and I think people were just like, oh, it's going to be another shitty Alien game. But it turns out it was not a shitty Alien game. It was a phenomenal Alien game. And 10 years later, they've finally been like, oh, well, yeah, no, people really love this game. We'll make a sequel.
Yeah.
So the question becomes, will the sequel be any good?
Ooh, that's actually a good question.
Because the reason the first game is so good is because it did what it wanted to do. It made a scary Alien game.
Well, yeah.
A sequel... You know, you can just kind of see it now. Some big studio being like, we've got to make a lot of money off this.
Yeah.
So
true.
make it a games as a service title. You can buy new skins for the alien.
God, I hope not.
You better be able to emote in it, but it's a single player survival experience. You better be able to emote.
You want to emote in front of the alien and you're about to die.
And it will cost you money. And can we add a battle pass?
Oh, 100%.
So,
We'll figure that one out, but...
God, like, I joke about all of it, but, with games the way they currently are, it honestly wouldn't surprise me.
True.
But yeah. I am hopeful because, like, Alien Isolation is so good. Imagine, like, well, obviously everyone's seen the graphics for the original game.
Well, yes.
Imagine what 10 years worth of graphical increasing could do.
Wow. Yeah, that would be nice. Yeah.
The only other thing that I've got to say when it comes to the sequel is they could absolutely fuck over everyone and make it a VR sequel. Now, whilst that
Fair
would be
enough.
pants destroyingly terrifying for anyone who's going to play it.
Yeah,
like
true.
that motherfucker's going to have to sell with adult diapers.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
It would mean that sales would be abysmal.
True.
Because I something in the industry that I just can't understand is when games go, we're only making a VR game. And it's like, why? Because we only want to sell to a tiny percentage of gamers out there. We spent all of this money making this game, and we really don't want anyone to play it. Like, that's basically what they're saying when they make a game VR only.
100%.
I understand trying to, like, jump in and get that VR market, but it's like, make your game non-VR, then make a VR version. Because if you do that, you're going to get more sales. Whereas if you just make a VR game, I know that it's not going away, but it does kind of feel like the thing where it's like, it feels gimmicky.
It does.
It's kind of like, oh yeah, last generation we had the body controlled, motion control, whatever.
Yeah.
This generation we've got VR, and it's like, like I know that everyone's like, oh, soon it'll all be VR. It's like,
It's still ways away from that.
I don't think we're there yet. And
No.
secondly,
Wait.
VR has to become a lot better for it to
Oh yeah, 100%.
to fully take over gaming. Because, like, don't get me wrong, I've seen some of the graphics in VR, and I'm like, ooh, that's
Some of them are actually quite good, but
a majority I see, I'm like, ooh, that's exactly what I expect from. It's like, it really feels like you're there. Look at my hand. It's like 1 pixel, and you're like, wow,
holy shit!
But as they get looking better, I think there's more and more reason to be like, yeah, I would like VR.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm also like, VR's never gonna work for everyone.
Oh no, of course not.
Because motion sickness is a big thing.
Yeah, true.
But and we shouldn't rule out people like that. That's actual discrimination. Stopping people playing video games because they get motion sick.
I know, right?
Fuck.
Jeez.
What's the world coming to? But yeah, so no, Alien Isolation 2. There's going to be a VR port though, don't you?
Oh yeah, 100%.
And when that
100%.
VR port comes out, it's going to be like people literally lying on the ground in their own waste because they're so terrified.
Warning: buy adult diapers with the game.
Only play in tiled rooms.
Something you can clean easily.
But yeah,
or make sure you're sitting on the toilet.
yeah, but yeah, that ought to be awesome when it comes out. Provided it actually does come out. So as I said, I will check that it is actually, because I did hear somewhere that they were making a second one. I can't remember where now, and I was like, oh sweet, and then I was like, so they're making a second one, and I forgot what I was going to say after that.
Yeah, I figured.
They're making a second one.
And yes,
and yeah, I'll actually see if it comes out, because like there's ambitious games that we've been told are coming, and then it's just like, oh, by the way, no, they're not. Yeah. We changed our fucking mind, or we got bought by someone who said nope.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. That makes sense.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, but then Tuesday, day two of it, that was Phasmophobia.
It was indeed Phasmophobia.
Yes.
Me and Kris went on a little bit of a ghost hunt. By which we mean ghost hunted us down and killed us multiple times.
That was a bad time for me.
Yeah. But like, it was classic Phasmo. We definitely played it too early to do the Halloween stuff, but unless you're a streamer, I find it very hard to do the Halloween stuff because you've got to literally play it a couple of days before Halloween.
Have you looked at the event yet?
I honestly don't care.
I thought so. It's a community one this time.
Meaning?
Meaning that there's 3 stages to it.
Mm-hmm.
When I played it yesterday with Jaden, stage 1 was at 0.7%.
When did it come out?
I'm within the sometime this week.
So we know that Halloween is literally tomorrow for us. As we sit here.
Yeah.
Yesterday, if you're watching this, we know that the update will probably get cleared in about a week. It'll only last
2 weeks.
About 2 weeks.
It is 2 weeks because of the size of the event. The general idea is for the basic stuff is you go into certain places with a camera, you take a photo of a little idol that's in there and it destroys the eye.
Okay.
Then you have to guess the correct ghost. That is it. If you go the basic one.
Wait, do you have to guess the correct ghost or just get out of it?
Nope, you've got to guess the correct ghost as well.
Okay, well that's why it's so fucking low, because they still haven't figured out how to make the ghosts actually hit all of their targets that they're supposed to hit so you can detect them.
Yeah, especially when you're playing intermediate, when it's still supposed to be showing all 3 of them.
If you saw us playing it, if you watched that episode of Phasmophobia, you'll know there's literally points where we have no clues. And it's like, ha, ha. Like, we've had everything in there, it's just there are no clues.
Yeah.
Or we've been sitting there and it's like, so in the last ghost hunt we did, one of the things was freezing temperatures, and we never once got freezing temperatures.
No, I saw my breath, but never went below like 3 degrees or something like that.
So I think
same thing happened with.
Also, the other reason that I think it's at 0.7%,
yes,
is because I don't think there's a whole heap of people still playing Phasmophobia. Because as we talked about in the game, Phasmophobia is a fun game to sit down and play for a bit.
I think they're half expecting that it's going to pick up.
No, it's
today.
It's heydays gone.
It is, but it's with the kind of half expecting it to pick up is because
of the consoles.
Because of the console release, which is today, Wednesday, if you're watching this.
Okay, yeah. But what I'm saying is that, right, a game like Phasmophobia, it's been out for 4 years now, right?
Yeah.
4 years of people, and let's be fair, you don't need the best system in the world to play it.
No, you
So
don't.
if people wanted it, they would probably have bought it by now.
Yeah,
I don't.
possibly.
I also don't see it being on a console as making any difference whatsoever to the gameplay.
It'd only be for the people who refuse to get a laptop or a PC.
But here's
that'd be the only thing. Like, I know Nick and Jaden are both going to get it on a console. Nick's going to get it on PlayStation. Jaden's going to get it on Xbox.
And they both of them already have it.
Yes, Jaden more so because he doesn't want to have to keep going into another room just to turn the PC on if he wants to play that game. So he can just play it in the land room. Nick, I think
he
he just
literally
finds
said
it
that
easier.
Jaden just wants to be lazy.
Yes, and Nick, his laptop's on its way out.
Okay, so yeah, I have a piece of advice for both of them. One, Jaden should transfer all of his gaming stuff into his gaming room.
Yes.
And that way he always has to be in that room to game, and that way he separates gaming from the rest of his life.
Yes.
Which is a good life lesson.
Jaden.
As for Nick, instead of buying a game you already own, put the money aside and buy a new laptop.
Yeah.
Instead of holding multiple copies of games, just buy a new laptop, my friend.
Yeah, so that's but as
That's
I think
really
they're
nice.
half hoping that that's what's
It's not
going to
going to be
happen.
good. It's not going to be good.
Which
I
is
don't think it's gonna be
why,
good, and I don't think it's going to boost. And as I said to you in the game,
yeah,
I feel like maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like a lot of people are like me when it comes to Halloween and challenges and events and shit like that. Where it's
Yeah.
like, I don't have time.
there are a lot of people who will grind because they play grindy games all the time.
Yeah, but
so,
it's like
yeah,
so first of all we have to understand that it's a false economy, right?
oh,
it is an arbitrary time frame that they put on this thing.
Yes.
So that's the first thing we understand. Now that we've gone that out of the way, we look at the other thing where it's like, okay, it's the same like we say. So you mentioned people who play grindy games a lot. Those people aren't playing Phasmophobia.
Oh yeah,
they're stuck playing the game.
The
they're
grindy
grinding.
game, yeah.
So they're not going to traverse over to Phasmophobia to grind in Phasmophobia. They're already grinding in other games.
Yeah, true.
And then you've got the people who will swap over to play a game for an event or something, and those people just don't care. They don't want to. They want to get in, play a few levels, have some fun, and then go. They do not want this to be a part. They don't want this to become their second job. Is what I'm saying. And so basically, that's where I always say Phasmophobia falls for me. As I said it when we were playing it, I don't know if any of it's in the video because honestly I cannot remember at this point. But Phasmophobia has always failed for me in its events because they're too big. I get in, I play 3 matches, and that does me for an entire month on Phasmophobia, if not longer, because the variety is just not there. The game can be entertaining, but generally after a couple hunts you're kind of just done with the whole go in, set things up, find the ghost, this thing didn't work, okay, leave, oh, we got it wrong.
That's pretty much it.
It's that kind of thing, and it's just like, yes it's fun to play with your friends, but there are so many other games that are just as fun to play with your friends.
Oh yeah,
these events shouldn't be do this cool grindy thing to get a reward that's a sticker and a thing in your fucking hideout.
The cabinets,
What it should be is like, here's just a fun little thing to have some fun in the few parts you're going to play. Because here's the kind of truth about Phasmophobia, and it's something that's like, as a game developer, it's kind of important for them. If you've bought the game, you've already done the part they want you to do. You've bought the game.
Oh yeah.
You know, you've given them the money. If you never come back and play the game, they really don't care. So instead of putting all this effort into trying to keep people coming back and trying to get them to make Phasmophobia their main game, just make it fun. You're not asking for any more money, so it's not like you've got to try and do this. Make it fun, and you'll make people come back to it. Have actual fun. Like, as we said, like,
well, let's face it, like, one of the things that about Phasmo is we don't do the big maps.
No, because they're difficult, and you need a full team, and it's hard to get a full team. Well, like, I'm not going to play Phasmophobia with randoms.
And even like with like the lighthouse being like a medium map, for me and Jaden yesterday, spawned on the top floor. So
again, I always say that actually comes down. That comes down to the fact that for some ungodly reason they put a sprint limiter in there, which they shouldn't.
Especially the big maps, they shouldn't.
Just in general, there shouldn't be a sprint limiter. I'll say why.
Well, if you do a custom game, you can turn it off.
Humans can jog for a very long time. It's part of our evolution. Mm-hmm. It's literally part of our evolution. So making it so that you can move faster than a walk for 2 seconds it doesn't make sense. Logically or gameplay wise.
No, it doesn't.
You want to mess with that. You want to have the running away not always be an option. That's where the actual ghosts come in, and where your ghost descriptions come in, which is something that if they really want to fix Phasmophobia, I think they need to do more of.
Yeah.
Is make the ghosts more like their descriptions, because for 90% of it, the ghosts feel the same.
Yeah, that's true.
I know one of them is like, oh, this ghost likes cold environments and is afraid of fire. Right, so if that is the ghost and it's hunting and you have the lighter and you light it, the ghost should run away from you.
Yeah.
But it doesn't.
No.
And it's like, that's where I think Phasmophobia needs to put the next big bit of work in, making each of the ghost type actually feel different.
Yeah.
Then fixing things like giving us unlimited sprint. It doesn't have to be full speed, but maybe add in another speed, which is jog, which is, half the speed of sprint, but you can do it constantly. And then people say, but then why would you ever turn it off? Because maybe one of the ghosts is better at hearing you, so when you're jogging, it can hunt you better. Whereas walking makes you quiet and it can't find you. There's thousands of ways you can implement these types of things.
Yeah.
The other big thing that I would think they could fix personally is the whole thing of breaking the ghost line of sight, like and hiding from the ghost. I think there's a bit where it's like, especially in maps like the lighthouse, if you run down the stairs and it's still coming down the stairs really slowly, and you hide, it'll then come down the stairs and make a beeline directly for you, because
it's supposed to be able to do that, because the whole, you know how it comes up with the objective of escaping a hunt. It has to be specifically chasing you for that, has to have you in its sight, and then you have to escape. That's the only way to check that off. So it's not just, oh, the hunt started, hide. Because if it hasn't seen you, you haven't escaped the hunt, because it was never hunting you.
But what I'm saying is, I've seen a lot of times where it's like, you see the hunt starts, you turn and run, and then you're like sitting there being like, is the hunt over? And then all of a sudden it's like, found you. And I was like, what? How did you? Oh.
There's only one ghost.
I never even saw the ghost. You see, even saw you.
There's only one ghost that should be doing that.
But again,
and that's how, like yesterday with Jaden, he was outside the house. A hunt started, and I immediately went, "It's not a Dajan." Because it didn't kill me. I was hiding. Right. So Dajan, can't hide from it. It'll kill you.
Yeah. Anyway, my point is that I would like to see them make the ghost a little bit more like their thing. So it's like, oh, the crucifix stops a hunt. Well, the demon's bio says the demon's afraid of the crucifix. So just having it around should lessen its activity, and if you're holding it, should mean that it doesn't hunt you.
Yeah, whereas it's, unfortunately at the moment, it's still just going by the hunt started outside that 3-meter radius.
Yeah.
So it's going to get you.
The next thing is events should be like the Christmas event 2 years ago now, where you went into the map, you found cookies. When you found all 6 cookies, something really quick and easy to do, the ghost would change to be dressed like Santa Claus.
Yeah.
That's it. That should be what it is, because it's fun, it's short, you don't have to do a billion different steps to it, it's just, you go in, you have a bit of fun.
Yeah. Or as you said last week, the whole thing with getting the snowball gun, you would just be able to shoot the ghost with it.
Yeah, and it's like, it doesn't stop the hunt, it doesn't do anything. I would personally make it prolong the hunt, but it's like...
Prolong it, but slow the ghost so you can escape it.
It stuns the ghost for like a second. The ghost just stops for a second and you can run.
Yeah, pretty much. But the thing is,
I
now, like, as we're talking about this, I'm probably going to make a custom, like, very much like I've already made a custom one. Because you can turn the running on permanently. You can turn it on.
It should never be a question. It should have just always been a permanent sprint thing, because
as
I've always said.
And if you go to an insane difficulty, okay, fine, whatever. Lower that.
I don't even like that, because it's like, right, you want to make me slower, let me carry more things. Bam, simple as that. If I'm only carrying a torch, a fucking camera, and
one thing to find it,
and an EMF. I've got 2 things in my pocket and a torch. I can run like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
If I'm carrying like 50 things on my back, then absolutely I'm gonna be slow. But again, it's just, I don't know. Maybe it's just a personal peeve, but I just don't like things where it's like, ha ha ha, you have 2 seconds of running. I'm like,
it's not enough.
I'm like, why even bother making it?
It's 2 seconds of running, and then it takes...
Or 5 seconds, or whatever
a stupid amount of time for it to come back.
And what pisses me off even more is the fact that my ghost hunter then sits there going... It's like, bitch, please. You didn't even move. You didn't even move enough to get your heartbeat up.
No.
But yeah, I think that that would be a good fix. I think that making the events short, little fun things would be much better, because you're going to get people coming back just to see the new thing. I think that's really what the events are about, like having people come back to see the new things. And I think personally with these big long events, they turn people off, because it's like, oh yeah, come and do this event, like the egg hunt one. That was fun, but stupid.
Oh, it was.
Like 40 odd eggs, and you didn't find one, so blah, blah, blah. Yeah, the saving grace with that, which this new one doesn't have, which just shows me they haven't thought about fixing it yet, is that you just had to get out alive for it to count. You didn't have to get the right ghost, you just had to get out alive.
Yeah, just had to find one, get out.
And that should be more than enough. But...
Well, see, the upside to this one is there's only 5 or 6 idols in the whole map, and they're easy to find because they're in the middle of the room. it's a blood moon event, so it's like a little fucking stand with a blood red moon on top of
Yeah,
it,
but
and it's like this big. It's hard to miss.
yeah, but the fact that it doesn't count if you don't get the ghost right is the big part.
Oh
Because,
yeah.
you know, when a game has achievements for getting the ghost right, you know it's not.
Yeah.
But you know, like that's what I mean. Like, if you want to make the thing comebackable, you've got to make it fun. And you've got to make it so it's like people who are only going to come back and play 1 or 2 games, because you know some people literally just do not have the time in their life to play a game for more than an hour a week. Seriously,
Yeah.
that's a true fact. I know for a lot of us that's not the case, but for some people who do love gaming and who Phasmophobia would actually work for are these people who just do not have the opportunity to play games that are longer and harder and all this kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, no.
The people that have like, I have an hour, let's get together and do something with their mates.
Yeah.
That's the kind of people that Phasmophobia should actually be aiming at. And those people are not going to come back for a Halloween event that's like, okay, you spend the next 2 weeks grinding.
Yeah.
No, absolutely
See,
not. They're going to be like,
In actuality, what you're doing, see, what I would be doing in this situation, I'm relying on the community to finish it. Because I can get, once the stage is finished and go and interact, you get the reward because the stage was completed. Okay, fair enough.
what are these rewards?
I don't know.
And that's sort of the other problem. A reward. What is it? Is it going to be a new skin for something? Maybe. Is it going to be like? But that's really the only thing it can be, because of the
allow
game's
you to level up quicker
I don't
without having to go to the stupidly hard difficulties.
I don't even care about the leveling up, because honestly, I just don't care about the game.
True.
As I said, I get in there to play one game, have some fun once every couple of months, and that's it. And it's like, and that's, you know, and I don't think the people at Phasmophobia give a fuck that that's how I play it, because I've already bought the game off them.
Oh yeah.
And because, as I said, they're not charging me any extra money, they're not missing out on any money.
Yeah, it's true.
But I just, yeah. Look, honestly, I just... It sickens me to say this, but I think a battle pass would actually be something that would work in a game like Phasmophobia.
Yeah.
Because instead of... You could actually be like, oh, look, here's a cool unlock or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, it would just be shit in your fucking truck, or, you know, a new skin for a piece of equipment.
Yeah.
And that way the experience, you have a reason to go and try and get experience. Whereas the current way is just kind of like, oh, we've got to get experience to get these better tools. And you sit there and you go, okay, yeah, get the experience, get the better tools. The better tools make me better at finding the ghost. Better at finding the ghost means I'm going to get more experience to get better tools. And, oh my god, I'm in a game cycle loop that's boring as shit.
Yeah.
And that's kind of why I just don't really care.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
And, you know, as I said, I just kind of audibly sigh every time it's like, oh, but the new event's coming out. I'm like, cool. They expect me to play how much of this game to actually do it? Or only like 15, 20 hours. Yeah, this game's not worth 15 or 20 of my hours.
No, it's a bit too much. Like, we played quite a bit when it first came out, but outside of that, it's sort of died off.
But, and again, that's kind of like the thing of games. They do get a lot of popularity. Phasmophobia was incredibly popular when it first came out.
Oh, yeah.
4 years ago.
Yeah.
But, you know,
Yeah.
these things change.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm well aware of it.
And also, you know, like, it was popular because everyone was playing it. And it was like, haha, look how much fun you're having. But as I've said, like, you know, doing the same thing over and over again, the fun eventually dies.
Oh, yeah, it does.
Yes. And it's like, yeah, you can make it more difficult for yourself, but yeah. Anyway, basically I like Phasmophobia, but I don't. It should be. It's an arcade game for me.
It is, yeah. No, that's fair. Moving on. Today, Wednesday.
Wednesday, day 3.
Day 3. Still awake?
Still wakes the deep.
Yes. My playthrough of that one.
Yeah, honestly, not really
is
a great deal to say about that game because I know very little about it. But basically,
story-based game.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, it might be one worth having you actually finish playing.
Yeah.
On your own time. But
Yeah.
my big thing with it is just that yeah, it's fun. It seems relatively short. I think like maybe 4 or 5 hours of gameplay.
Maybe a little bit longer because we didn't go through a lot where we had to try to avoid anything.
Yeah,
That is a mechanic. Well, once I had to try to avoid something during that, and that wasn't difficult, but it was the first time you were possibly running into something. So we haven't seen too much of that mechanic yet.
Yeah, but I also
So that might actually.
I actually don't feel like that's going to. I honestly don't think it's as long as you think.
No, I think it might slow it down a little.
I
though.
think 4 to 5 hours, and I really think that stuff is going to be held for big set pieces type thing.
Yeah.
I think the
Well, I know we've got to come back through some of the areas we went to because it has those hiding spots, but there was nothing there to hide from.
Well, again, as I said, it kind of depends on the game, but
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure like no more than 5 hours is kind of the type of game it is looking at it. Like
Yeah, more likely.
it doesn't look like a long game. It doesn't look like it's got a whole lot. And in terms of like the hiding place and stuff, I know a few of those places I was like, oh, you might have to come back through here while you're playing it. But again, I think that's sort of like the whole thing is it's a game that will have you going backwards and forwards through a lot of places because there's only about 3 or 4 areas you can go to.
Yeah, there's not a lot. But then again, there's a few areas we haven't been to yet because it was locked, because we couldn't get through it or anything like that. So there's more areas than we actually went to.
But I don't think that game's actually going to be that long.
No, probably not. But I didn't expect it to be like 10 hours or anything like that. Like, that's quite a long time for that game.
Oh, it's too long for a game like that.
Yeah.
Because, again, you know, like, even with a bit of stealthing and stuff,
yeah,
there's not a whole lot going on in the game. So it's where I think games like that are at their strongest when they're short, sweet, and don't overstay their welcome. And what I mean by that is that game is awesome, but if it's like from going forwards, if it's like every time you enter a new place, you've got to spend ages trying to circumnavigate monsters.
Yeah.
It'll just be like, why am I even bothering with this?
Yeah, I suppose.
Especially considering there's like no combat mechanics, no.
Yeah.
So there's no fighting them, so that's not useful. The areas themselves really aren't that big.
True.
So it's not like you can like, oh, it's seen me. You sprint this way, sprint around this. It's like, oh no, it's seen me. I have to run a corner and then okay, and especially like the laundry that we were in, that was tiny.
Yeah.
Like if you actually had to hide from something in there, you wouldn't be able to because you probably wouldn't be able to break line of sight.
Yeah, more than likely not unless they're super slow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, as I said, I honestly think that game is about 4 or 5 hours from the looks of it.
Oh yeah, more than likely.
And I think there's a lot of stuff to do in that, in terms of like a lot of extra stuff that you didn't like. We had a look at the achievement list, and that you went, oh, there's so many achievements. But I think only about 3 or 4 of them are actually story-based achievements. I think the rest are like doing certain things in the game. So yeah, that came out today, on Wednesday, and yeah, as I said, not a bunch to say about it. It is a good game. It's just that I don't know a whole lot about it. I haven't looked up any spoilers or anything for it because I feel like it's kind of a one and done game. Once you play through and played the story, the only reason to go back is the achievement hunt, and I don't do that.
Yeah, and because it's not a multiplayer game, it's not even going through it with a different friend. Because like a game that similar would be like the Dark Anthology series. There's different endings, everything like that. Play it with another friend, they'll do something different. Yeah. So I think
that's sort of stuff. Even those games, I will say this about those games because we did play them either last year or the year before.
For sure, it was the year before.
But either way, it's those games are good, but I feel like you play them once, by yourself. You might play them with one of your friends. The only other time to really pull them out is when you have a lot of people and a lot of time.
Oh yeah.
And you just want to fuck around and like you give everyone a certain character but like even that, like that's something I would do because it's actually kind of fun. But at the same time, you're taking on something that's like, geez, how long did it take us to finish the first one? Probably like 3 hours,
Something like that.
Hour,
3 to 4, somewhere in that range.
and that's sort of like the problem with it. It's slightly too short to make a really, really, really good single player experience.
True.
But slightly too long to make a great party game.
Yeah.
So, anyway,
Yeah,
moving along. So on Thursday, or yesterday, when you're watching this, actual Halloween, the day of the Halloween itself, will be Minecraft, where me and Kris carved our pumpkins into some glorious jack-o'-lanterns.
I don't know if glorious is the right word for mine. It was something.
Murderous is yours.
Well, it was meant to be, but yeah.
You died on yours
Multiple times. Yeah, okay, fair enough.
But yeah, so that's that one. Me and Kris, we just do a little competition in Minecraft. It's not less of a competition, more of just messing around, doing a quick, just trying to do a speed build pretty much. Because even though we gave ourselves 45 minutes, building something good in Minecraft takes hours and hours and hours.
And I was
just just look at my house, which is still incomplete.
Yeah, and I was trying to build something good.
Yeah.
I underestimated how big it is.
I think the thing with that is that that's going to be something new that we can do a lot more of, is like little things like that in Minecraft for events. So I'm starting to plan one for Christmas that will hopefully be nice and fun. Yeah. But I think that's kind of that. The only issue is that I think the Christmas one's going to take me a little bit more time to set up. Like that one's super easy to set up. This Christmas one could be a bit longer.
Okay.
But if I get it working the way I want it to, should be good fun for me.
Okay.
Maybe you.
Oh shit.
But yeah,
that's never good.
So that's it's like it was more or less a nice little test to see what we could kind of do in Minecraft.
Yeah.
And give ourselves a little bit of a challenge. So less of the normal Minecraft stupidity where we run around not knowing what we're doing, and a little bit more of the
task orientated stupidity, not knowing what we're doing.
Yeah, exactly. we knew exactly what we were doing. We just had no idea how we were going to do it.
Exactly.
And then today, after the podcast comes out, so this will be Friday in the final video, because the podcast will come out. Obviously, if you're watching this, you're watching the podcast before the next video comes out. So the last video for Halloween week will be a Nightmare Mario Kart race. Pretty much me and Kris do all of the Rainbow Roads. Plus one other race. The reason it's Nightmare is because we both absolutely detest Rainbow Road.
Mm-hmm.
Everything about it. And
you can tell why.
Yeah, so pretty much it's a race. We both race. There's no teams. There's no Halloween King this year, just because we honestly could not set it up. Too much stuff is happening at this current time to warrant it.
Yep.
So basically, instead we just did a thing I've been meaning to for a while, where we hit all the Rainbow Roads and have a bad time doing it.
Yeah. It was something.
Yeah, that's about it. That's really all there is to that. Halloween week, when it is finally over, I shall breathe it in massive sigh of relief.
Yes. That sounds right.
Technically speaking, I'm hoping that by
tomorrow,
the end of Thursday, I will have everything done.
Yep.
But no one ever really knows. The other thing is that after Halloween week, obviously we go back to normal schedule, which means I have no videos for the normal schedule.
Yeah.
Because I've spent the last 2 weeks just prepping this week, and so I have a few days to knock out some videos. So that'll be fun for me.
Yeah.
But not too stressful because normal videos are a lot easier to do than Halloween week.
True. Yes, that's a fair point.
Yeah.
Yes. Other than that, still at 195 subscribers.
Technically,
it did go down briefly.
Yeah.
We're back up.
So we dropped some subscribers, and now we're
It was only one, wasn't it?
Two.
Oh, it was two. Okay, I only saw the one.
So we lost 2 subscribers. We got one back. We got another one back. You know, these things happen.
Yeah.
Honestly, you know, I'm surprised we don't lose more, because I know every now and then, like, YouTube just goes and unsubscribes things.
Yeah, that's
Because
true.
they either consider the accounts bots, they might be bots, or they've been inactive long enough that they go, oh, we're getting rid of this.
Yeah, that's fair.
But you know,
Yeah, happens.
we're still there,
Yeah.
so you know, fingers crossed that in the coming days we'll hit the 200. That'll be
Hopefully.
awesome. Hopefully by next podcast, you know,
It's
then-
still achievable at least in the next. Well, by the end of the year at least.
Absolutely.
Worst case scenario, by the end of the year.
I
It's
don't.
achievable.
I honestly don't foresee it taking that long.
No,
but,
I don't either. But I'm saying worst case.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
you know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
You just keep doing what you do.
But that's it.
You know, hopefully you'll find the people that actually want to do that. And you know, for those of that were like, oh yeah, I like this, and then they're like, oh, actually no, this isn't for me. Well, you know, these things happen.
Yeah.
But yeah. As I said, although whenever it comes to subscribers going down, I always go like, I wonder if that's actually someone unsubscribing or a YouTube related thing. Because for me, just personally, I always feel like it's more of a YouTube related thing.
Yeah.
Because I sometimes wonder, like, if someone's just really not engaging with your content, then
It would take longer than a few weeks.
well,
Well,
not even that. If someone's really not engaging with your content, they're probably not clicking on your thing ever to go and unsubscribe from you,
Yeah, true,
or seeing your content ever to unsubscribe from you.
Yeah, okay, I agree with that because I do the same thing.
Yeah, and so I think with a lot of people, it's once they subscribe to something, they very rarely unsubscribe.
Well, the thing is, it
Unless
doesn't
the
cost them anything.
That's the big
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
It could because of the cost wise.
Yeah. And if you
unless
don't
that
interact
person-
with it, it's going to stop
unless
going
that
up
person
anyway.
actually does something to like annoy them
Yeah.
to the point where they're like, I am not supporting this person anymore.
Yeah.
I really feel like a lot of the time it's a YouTube based thing where they're like, we're getting rid of these because I don't think the average person who's not connecting to your content actually cares enough to go and unsubscribe to you.
Yeah.
Because that it's sort of like the catch-22, right?
Yeah.
If I'm not watching your stuff, if I'm not engaging with you, why would I then waste my time going to unsubscribe to you when it's not doing anything to me?
No.
So
Because let's face it, the more you, like the amount of people I'm subscribed to that do not show up, because at the moment I'm not watching anything similar to their stuff.
yeah.
So
I think that's really the big thing. Like for me, whenever that happens, I'm like, okay, well, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know if this was someone who actually went through the effort of unsubscribing or if this is a YouTube thing, but I usually just go like, it's probably a YouTube thing because I honestly, like, I do, as I said, Kris does it, I do it. There's channels that I don't watch anymore or just don't have anything to do with, and I'm probably still subscribed to them because I just don't. I don't even give it enough effort to go to this thing and unsubscribe because it's literally doing nothing to me.
Yeah, and that's it.
So, you know, it doesn't help the channels, unfortunately, because apathy is death, but...
Well, yeah, that's a thing. But and there's some that I've subscribed to just because the shorts are there. I keep meaning to like go and watch their full videos, but they're like really long ones. And every time I think I'll go watch that, it's like I have 40 minutes. That is a 2-hour video. Damn.
But anyway, yeah. So that's kind of stuff that's been happening. With us, a little bit more channel news. With us going into the 3rd year,
Yes.
we're constantly trying new things. We might even try a live stream in the coming year of something. I don't know what yet, but
Yeah.
you know, give it a trial. there'll be a lot of playing around with that, a lot of kind of testing before the actual event. But yeah, it's something that I want to give a try and see how it goes.
Yeah. It's definitely worth it.
Yeah, absolutely. So probably because I have no interest of getting onto Twitch just yet, it'll probably just be on YouTube. But
yeah,
you know, yeah, it just gives us another kind of extra thing that we can do. Also, hopefully save me a little bit of effort.
True, yeah.
Because if I can do a stream, then I have a recording and pretty much very little editing to do on it.
Yeah, true. Makes sense.
Yeah. But I think that just about wraps up channel news.
I think so.
Awesome. Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, so Halloween, guys. As always, me and Kris don't really celebrate Halloween. I know a few people in Australia do, but it's not a big deal. I think the big thing about Halloween is mostly university parties.
Yeah, I know my sister takes the kids around to certain people's places to get
Bit of trick-or-treating.
Bit of trick-or-treating, but it's a very specific way they go. They don't just go house to house.
Yeah, because you would get nothing from 90% of the houses.
Oh, yeah. Like, to be honest, she goes to the door before the kids get to the door. Here's some bags of lollies. And then the kids come up, and then I give them the lollies. So it seems like I'm giving them to...
Right.
Yeah. It's a thing.
And it will be the first thing they talk about in therapy.
Yes.
But yeah, no, like, yeah, I don't know, Halloween's just not really a big deal here. I know, like, nearly every university will have a Halloween party where a chance for the idiots to dress up.
I like how you didn't change that one.
Yeah.
Just repeated it.
I was going to say, like, the idiots. And I was like, yeah, no, they're all idiots. Everyone in university is an idiot.
Yes. Yes, you are.
Everyone who's ever been to university is an idiot. We're all idiots.
Yes.
The human race is idiots. But,
For the most part, yeah.
In general.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's like, honestly, yeah, in Australia, we don't really do a great deal for Halloween.
No.
Mostly it's just Halloween parties. And as I said, mostly that's just university students, because university students will use anything to get drunk.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, you can't get mad at me for not coming to class today because it was Halloween and I was at the Halloween party.
Yeah.
Or whatever. So
True.
we don't really celebrate it here. It's always a good excuse to get out and like play some spooky games and do stuff like that. But in reality, it's just not the biggest kind of thing that we worry about here.
Yeah.
Because honestly, it's like, you know, what's the point?
That's pretty much it. Yeah.
I know lots of people that like love Halloween though, like they're super into it and the spooky season. But again, it's just like,
yeah, I know there's a few people at work that are like that.
Well, I think the reasoning is, you know, you get to indulge in the spooky occult side of life.
True.
But because you're doing it at a time of year when everyone's supposedly doing it, no one's gonna label you as a weird goth.
Yeah, true.
Whereas,
true.
like, if you do it every day, you are a weird goth.
Fair.
So, you know.
I'll give you that.
But yeah, so, like, yeah, you know, Halloween podcast, we don't really do anything special for it because, honestly...
Previous years, we had different coloured lights.
Once.
Yeah.
But, you know, like, in all honesty, it's just it's just a time of year when I do a lot of extra work.
Yeah.
Because it also happens to fall in exam period for me, so...
Yeah, that is true.
So yeah, it's honestly nothing that I really write home about.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, like in terms of what's been happening, Kris. Well,
yeah.
The good news is that the beloved Dodgers,
yes,
are currently beating the Yankees. 3-1, so they could wrap up the World Series tomorrow. So that'd be good news. That'd be a hell of a Halloween.
Oh, it would be.
Just absolutely destroy the Yankees on Halloween. Be like, hey, Yankees. But
Perfect.
yeah. Other than that, you know, like that's the news everyone's been waiting for. It's happened.
Yeah.
That's from Wednesday though. So if you're watching this on Friday, there's actually a really good chance that it's over.
That's true.
It's all wrapped up. the Dodgers are the best. But you know, there's also an equally opportunity, like you know, all things being equal,
Yeah.
that they're not, and they haven't won yet, but they're still the best.
Fair.
Yeah, big
We'll have
news.
to wait and see.
That's about it, really. That's about all I've been doing. I've been working, and I've been watching baseball, and I've been working, and I've been sleeping.
Yeah,
And that's been my life this week, because it's always my life when Halloween week rolls up.
Well, that seems fair. I mean, I haven't been doing a lot. Joined Jordan for camping on the weekend. That's about
I
it.
did notice that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did not. I went out with a friend of ours. Something I was going to say about our friend. There's something. Oh, I forgot what I was going to say. I was going to tell you something that happened, but now I've forgotten what it was.
Which friend?
Anna.
Oh, you did mention that.
There was something stupid. Oh, it was something stupid that involved Anna. No, I can't remember what I was gonna tell you about it.
But you might remember later.
Maybe, but yeah,
Saturday that or on the weekend, she'll mention it.
maybe. Anyway,
Yeah.
so yeah, I went out. I hung out with her and her friend.
Yep.
And yeah, we had an interesting Friday night, and then they went to Yeppoon the next day. And I'm fairly sure they both survived it. So yeah, more power to them.
Well, I did get a message from Anna on Monday.
Was it about Eskies?
It was about Eskies.
Fucking, I'm on top of it.
She's wanting a lot of Eskies for some reason.
I know the reason.
No. Fair enough.
Yeah, what's happening Saturday, idiot?
Well, yeah, there's the party. I know that.
Yeah, it's at Jordan's place.
Jordan's parents' place, yes.
Yes. And there's going to be lots of people there.
Yeah.
So she wants Eskies for all of the drinks.
Yeah, I know.
Idiot.
Yeah, I know. I knew it was for drinks. Jesus Christ.
What else are you going to put in Eskies? Dumbass.
There's a lot of things you could put in Eskies.
Depends on the size of the Esky.
That's it. Yeah. Didn't message Jordan about it though.
No, because I'm assuming that he's already said, I have this, it'll be there, when he helped her organize the whole thing.
Yep. I told him about it today, and he's just like, yeah, no, she hasn't said anything to me about that, but you know that Esky that I got downstairs? So that's a medium-sized one. My parents have like 2 bigger ones there, so we're just gonna like take that in this, because I mentioned I'm at work, so I said to him, "You're gonna have to take the Esky for me." And he's like, "Yeah, I'll just take the yellow one, and then if we need more, I'll just go grab the 2 that my parents have."
But yeah, no, that should be good fun. But yeah, no, I did see you guys went camping, and I was like, "Why didn't I thought you would have gone camping?" I went, "No, I hate dirt."
Yeah.
I went, and honestly, as I've always said to you about like camping, I will do it with Jordan.
Yes.
I don't want to go with everyone.
No, that's fair.
Because you know me.
Yes.
You know, yeah, it's like I am literally one level of annoyance away from becoming the campsite murderer.
Yes.
And unfortunately, as much as I love them all, they would drive me insane after it. Not being able to leave them after 24 hours. I would. It's not even a. I would go native.
Yeah.
And you'd all just be walking around and be like, "Oh, traps. Why are there traps everywhere?"
True.
And then the traps you didn't see would get you because
You're paying too much attention to the other ones.
Well, no, I'm just like, I'm just running through my head. I'm like, if I actually wanted to trap you guys, you'd be in trouble.
No, I know. I'm aware.
The unfortunate side effect of being the crazy one.
Yeah. Oh,
Hey, Darcy set up a spike trap here. Oh, fuck, well, you found that one, so there's probably about 10 others we haven't found.
Shit. Yeah, no. No, it was fun. We woke up on Saturday, and Sophie comes over to us and she's like, "Did you just hear that this morning at like 6 o'clock?" I'm like, hear what? So I could swear there was some people doing a ritual of some kind. It was really loud, very much, and it's like, I was scared. I thought they were coming for me because of the noise we were making last night.
See, that's like literally the only thing I said to Jordan. Because he was sending me a few snaps, and I was just like, okay, let me know if anyone sets themselves on fire, because that's the level of
Okay, fair.
that's literally what I would imagine happening at the people that were there. I'm like, okay, someone is going to fall into a campfire.
I would have expected it on the first night. Second night was very chill. Yeah.
That's my other problem. I'm a kind of late night person. Yeah. Not early morning, late night, and I'm like, I honestly would not be having fun late night camping.
Yeah, fair.
Like, there's only so much you can have conversations with people about before you're like, okay, now what do we talk about?
Pretty much, yeah.
And it's like, nothing. Sweet.
Guess we're sitting here in silence for a while, staring at a fire.
Yeah. And, like, I don't need to do that anymore. And I've already been accused of being a pyromaniac enough times.
Yeah, true.
But, yeah, also the other thing is, like, I just, like, as I said, I like the idea of that kind of thing, but I also, I don't see the benefit to it.
Fair enough.
And that's kind of what I was saying to, like, a few people who were like, why didn't you go camping with them? And I was like, oh, purely because that's not my scene. Like, 100% that's not my scene. I'm like, my scene is like, ha ha ha, we're staying at the nicest hotel in town. Yes. I was like, oh, and what will we be doing? We'll be going out and having fun.
Yes. I got asked, it's like, did you invite Darcy? And I looked at them and said, no.
Well,
Jordan did.
I was invited.
You were invited.
It could never be said I wasn't invited.
Okay. Yeah, okay, fair enough. You were invited because you're in that group.
I also knew you guys were going.
I know.
I'd known for weeks that you guys were going.
I'm well aware. But it's like, when they asked me if I invited you, I'm like,
no, who is this?
Sophie.
Oh.
She's like, did you invite Darcy? I'm like,
that's fair. So Sophie hasn't known me very long.
I'm just like, no, he wouldn't have come. I was like, what? It's like, so he doesn't like camping? He's like, no. I mean, look, he likes to be able to leave when he can. If he's out here, it ain't happening.
He likes to go home when he's had enough of everyone.
Pretty much, and that's what I said to him, because it's like, and to get to that point, because the dirt roads are just so much worse now. You would have had to take your parents' car, and I'm not sure they would have liked that. So I would just like, we would have come up with like Jordan, or maybe with Jonathan when I went up. But it was one of those things of like, yeah, no.
Here's my issue with camping, right?
Yeah.
So first of all, it's like, I saw you guys at the waterhole, and I was like, oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
I'm like, but at the same time, you don't have to travel all the way to go to a nice waterhole.
No.
And I went, okay, so that's the first part done. Secondly, I do like sitting around a fire, having a few drinks.
Yeah.
I don't need to go all the way out there to do that.
No, that is correct.
Everyone I know here has some sort of fire in the backyard apparatus.
Yes.
Whether it just be a fire in the backyard or a fire pit.
Yes.
I really want Jordan to do a nicer fire pit, though. I've given him ideas and he refuses to do any of them because of money. And I'm like, dude, it's just money and hard work. Come on, you've got money and you can do hard work.
Exactly.
I'm like, now go buy some pavers, dig a hole about yay deep, bury it, put some pavers around it, have a dropped fire pit. That's nice. Now do it. Go and get it done. Then we wouldn't need to bring chairs out all the time because we could just sit on the edge of the fucking drop down.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That's as simple as that one. That'd be nice.
It would be lovely. Oh crap, it's almost like I studied design. It's almost like I'm a motherfucking creative asshole.
I don't think you did that.
Did many things.
Yeah, well, I don't think that was one.
If Jordan just gave me all of his money, his house would be the nicest house ever.
Oh no, I'm well aware of that.
But he refuses to. He just keeps putting it in those machines.
He does indeed.
Anyway, no, but yeah, no. Like I'm like everything you can do camping, you can do at home.
Yeah.
And for me, it's like the added things that you can do at home that you can't do out camping. Swing it in the be at home's favor.
Yeah. I suppose.
Now, if you were to say to me, "Oh, we're going camping in the snow," I'd be camping.
Yeah.
Because I can't do snow at home.
That's true.
But basically, yeah, I just go like, okay, I'm like, you need to give me something I can't do here
Yeah.
while I'm there. And it's like, oh, but you can do this. I'm like, okay, but
And
I can also do that here.
Yeah, and I sort of understood all of that, so I was just like, I didn't even ask you if you were going.
No.
I just knew the answer was no.
No. Well, plus I also had a fuck ton of work that weekend.
True.
I could not have taken 3 days off because then I would have had absolutely no videos for this week.
Oh yeah, I'm aware.
Yeah, but like so next weekend should be fun. The coming weekend,
Yes,
because you know it'll just be a chest off steam. I'm sure Caleb's going to get up me for not coming to Brisbane, but I will explain to him that it's really not my fault. It's actually yours and Jordan's fault that we never came down.
How so?
Well, we could have gone down any weekend except, oh, that's right, you had to spend Sundays.
Oh yeah.
And so, okay, you weren't going to come down for a weekend.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
Then Jordan was organised camping last weekend.
Yes.
And I knew that he'd been organising that for a while. So I was like, okay, well, that kind of blows off the end of October.
Yes.
I'm like, plus, Caleb's going to be there at the start of November. I'm like, and then we're going to be there at the start of December.
Yes.
I'm like, so really the only time to do it would have been early October, in which Kris and Jordan had people they could only see on the weekends.
Yeah.
I'm like, so really, this isn't my fault.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. I guess I'll take the blame for this one.
No, he won't blame you as long as you say like, I was hanging out with a girl. He'll be like, okay, that's fine. You should have done that. Plus, there was also the other thing of like a few times I was like, Caleb's got off doing Brisbane stuff this weekend. Cool.
Yeah.
So I was like, that he won't even miss us. But yeah. I'm sure it's going to come up at some point that we haven't come to visit him yet, and I'll be like, yeah, look, not my fault. Other than that,
Okay.
you know, I got a message last week from Jordan being like, hey, I'm gonna leave organising everything in Brisbane up to you, and I'm like, yeah, I kind of figured that already.
Yeah.
I'm
I figured.
like, it's not good because you're all kind of leaving this to me, and as you all know, I have no interest in Brisbane.
No, I'm aware.
So it's like, I would just find a place that I want to stay, and I do not care about if it's close to places or shit.
I'm aware of
I'm
that.
like, I want to stay here, and the only thing that I have above you guys is I used to live in a city.
Oh yeah.
So it's like, I literally have no problem being like, oh, okay, so from where we're here to get to where we're going, that's a half-hour walk. Sweet, okay, let's walk for half an hour.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I completely get that. I understand it. I'm fine with that. I'm 100% fine with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've done that in Brisbane though. Like every time we've gone to Brisbane, we've pretty much done.
That's the thing. You guys have gone to Brisbane. I've been to Brisbane twice in my whole life.
Yeah, I suppose.
Once when I was a small child and I went, I hate this place, and once when I had to go with school and I went, I hate this place. And then, well, technically I've been to Brisbane a lot of times, but I've never left the airport.
Okay, yeah, fair point.
And I've been sitting there being like, you know what? You knock down the rest of it. It's a nice place for an airport.
Oh, fucking.
If we got rid of all of that, you'd have so many more planes here.
I know, right?
I absolutely detest Brisbane.
Yeah, fair.
Not because it's a really bad city. Like, it's a city.
Yeah.
But mainly because if you're not a Queenslander, you won't understand this. But Queenslanders kind of think the world ends at Brisbane.
They really fucking.
And if you've never been to Brisbane, or even if you have been to Brisbane and you've never been anywhere else, you don't realise how much of a shit city it is, considering how much of Queensland's money is spent on it.
Oh yeah,
And it's like,
which is most.
yeah. And the other thing is, I always hate the Brisbane people who are like, poor bugger me, my house flooded. And I, as someone who's never been there, but I look at maps when I hear people about flooding happen, and I go, okay, well, why'd you build your house in the bend of a river?
Yeah.
I don't understand this. And then I looked one day and went, oh shit, I understand part of my enormous anger at Brisbane.
Yeah.
It's built in the bend of a river.
Yes, it is. It very
Like,
much is.
We've got a river, it bends here, it's nice and flat in the bend, let's build a city there. And it's like, you don't think that's a floodplain or anything? Never heard of one. Let's build a city.
Yeah, pretty much.
Then every fucking 3 years, while the rest of Queensland's dealing with flooding, it comes down Brisbane. Brisbane got a bit of water, and now there's mud everywhere. The rest of the state is underwater, and you guys are poor bugger ussing.
Yeah.
I will not have it.
Yeah, it's a common one.
It annoys the shit out of me. I think that's probably the main issue I have with Brisbane.
But it's
The
also
people of Brisbane, because do you know how many people who live in Brisbane who have never been beyond the Gold Coast?
oh, most of
Exactly, and it's like there's the rest of the state here. You know, remember we pay for you to have all of the nice roads while we die on ours because our roads is terrible.
yeah.
At least you could come out and die on our shitty roads.
Please. No, because it's the biggest thing as well. When those floods happen and the amount of people on the news, it's like, oh no, I've lost everything. It's like, you knew you bought a house in a floodplain.
Oh yeah.
That the slightest amount of rain would flood
No,
your
no,
house.
it's even worse than that. They buy the house and they say, I didn't have any insurance and I've lost everything. Why didn't you have any insurance? Because the insurance company said, we're not insuring you to live on a floodplain.
Yet you stayed.
Well, I don't actually have any issue with them saying it's not an economy for buying and moving and all that kind of shit.
Well, yeah.
But it's kind of like, you're telling me everyone knows it's a floodplain.
Yes, everyone does.
But it's the only place they're building new houses. And like, don't get me wrong, I kind of actually have reasons to go to Brisbane, maybe. Fingers crossed.
Well, yes.
But it doesn't change the fact that I detest the place.
Yes.
There's only one city I hate more than Brisbane.
Okay, yes.
Canberra.
A fair point.
And that's for two reasons. And okay, again, if
Horrible.
you've never been to Australia, hello. Thank you for listening to two idiots.
Yeah.
If you have been to Australia, but you're one of these people who have never gone to Canberra, there are actually quite many of them.
Yes.
For some reason, Australians, we don't like to travel a lot.
No. It's a weird thing.
Most of our ancestors came over here on boats.
Yeah.
And none of us want to travel.
Pretty much. Yeah. No.
Although I guess, you know, technically, if you travelled from like Europe to Australia back in the sail ship days, you've done enough family travelling for like 20, 30 generations.
That sounds right.
But anyway, my point is that a lot of people have never been to Canberra. So there's two reasons to hate it. One, it's where we keep all of the politicians.
Yes.
Well, all of the federal politicians.
Yeah.
We keep our state ones in the state capitals. This is another reason to hate Brisbane. And two, without a doubt, it is the worst designed city I've ever been to. And the problem is, it is a design city. It was built to be the way it is. And that way is a wheel and spoke city. If you don't know what that means, it pretty much means it's a giant circle with lots of different bits going in and out. And it's built in like circles. Not concentric circles, but circles nonetheless.
Yes.
And then to get between them, you travel down the spokes. Now, that seems like a really good idea until you actually see it in motion. Because what that means is when we were there,
yeah,
we spent about 45 minutes to an hour traveling just to get to a shopping centre.
Yes. And the unfortunate thing is, you make one wrong turn, it just adds so much time to it.
Yeah, because you got to travel the concentric, non-concentric circle. No.
Yes.
But like when you're in the center circle, everything's easy. And fortunately, when we were actually staying there, we stayed in the center circle.
Yes.
Best time of my life living in that center circle. We went to the War Memorial, something that I always want people to do when they go to Canberra because I think it's really important. Jordan,
yes.
Jordan had I think Jordan really enjoyed his time at the War Memorial.
I think he did.
Yeah. Like me and you were talking a lot, but like he was just kind of walking along, absorbing all of it.
Yeah.
And I was just like, Jesus Christ, I've never actually seen Jordan so invested in something.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I knew he did enjoy it in there.
Then we went to the Questacon.
We did,
which was also good fun.
Yes, it was.
I would like to do that kind of stuff again on like not a weekend.
Yes.
During like our school time.
Yeah.
So that we could actually do all of the fun stuff, and the holiday stuff wouldn't be there.
True.
But of course, those two are in the middle circle, and then where we were staying was in the middle circle.
Yeah.
So we could we went to Parliament House, we went to those places, and our place. So doing all of that traveling,
yeah,
took less time than getting to the the center from where we entered town.
Yes.
The shopping center from where we entered town. So like that gives you an idea of just how horrible it is to get around this town. But
honestly, quicker to walk in some cases.
But when we were actually staying there, because we stayed there when we were coming back from our snow trip, our hotel was again in the center circle, so we parked the car and walked everywhere.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was like a 20-minute walk when we finally found the place we wanted to eat, but it wasn't that bad. Like,
but the thing is, we were deciding where we wanted to eat while we were walking, so it's sort of like, it looks okay. We'll keep that one in mind, but we'll keep walking.
Yeah. So like, it wasn't terrible. Like, and that's probably the one thing I actually like about the city. But that's why I like grid pattern cities better, because walking around them is a lot easier. Like a concentric circle city where you've got to be like, oh, I'm here and I want to get to here, so I either cross. If I'm lucky, they've put circle a path across.
Yeah.
If I'm not lucky, I've got to walk around. Yes. Whereas grid patterns like, it's like I want to get to here, so what I'm going to do is I can walk this way, or I can cut through here, or I can go this. Yeah. You've just got more options. Grids are better. Hence why most cities are grids. Yes. And also why like traffic not included, getting around somewhere like New York is so much easier than getting around a lot of other places, because New York is literally just a lovely giant grid.
Yes, indeed it is.
Also, cul-de-sacs suck. And that just needs to be said. Cul-de-sacs force people into having cars.
Okay. Yes.
That's not a thing to be argued. That's just a statement.
No, it's fair.
Because cul-de-sacs lead to suburbs. Suburbs lead to being far away from everything. Being far away from everything leads to needing a car to get you around.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Whereas if you live in a city, you can literally ride a bike everywhere.
Yeah. True.
Would I? No. I would hire a Sherpa.
Make them ride.
And make them carry me upstairs.
I want to be up there. Oh, you can just walk up the stairs.
You know what though? It would be an interesting thing. If you lived in a city, don't buy a bike, buy a tuk-tuk.
Yeah.
Or one of those like bikes that have the big chair at the back.
Yeah.
And then when you're going about your business, people will hop in the back, give you money because they think you're driving them places. Side hustle.
Yes. That would work.
Man, it's I don't know. I'm kind of looking forward to our trip to Brisbane. Yes. Mainly because I'm going to be drunk for a large majority of it.
Yes.
Most of the Saturday.
Yeah.
Also, I remember what I was going to say about Anna.
There you go.
She told me on the weekend she won another thing.
A third one?
No, a second one.
Oh, I knew about the second.
Yeah. I did not. She told me that day. She's like, I won another one.
Oh, that's right, because I hadn't talked to you since then. Yeah.
And I went, what do you mean you won another one? She's like, yes, it's the same day. I'm like, oh, well, that's good. And she's like, but this one's at a beach place. So we'll go from the beach place to the fancy place. And I was like, fancy place? Like, what kind of dress code are we talking? And she's like, I'm going to wear a dress. I'm like, okay, that's not useful for me, Anna.
No, it's really fucking not. God damn it.
Okay, I'll wear a dress too. Got a nice blue number. Heels, like, I can only do up to 4 inches. I think, well, anything bigger, I'm too tall. Anna.
No, okay, fair point.
12 inches, that puts me over 7 foot.
Why the fuck are you wearing 12-inch heels?
When I need to be over 7 foot.
Okay, fair enough, fine. Jeez.
No, so I was like, okay, so are we talking like suit? Am I going to go suit?
Or just like a nice button up?
Like I could go suit. I'm like, suit, white shirt, just unbuttoned to about here.
Yeah. That seems right.
Pocket square.
Oh, of course.
Sunglasses, shave my head, make everyone call me Mr. Worldwide. It's a Pitbull joke.
Yeah, I know. I was going to go down the track putting a barcode on the back of your head, though.
No. That's not Mr. Worldwide.
I know it's not, but it's Hitman.
That's Mr. Killwide.
Yes. Okay.
Anyway, no, I'm looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to this week being over. Getting back into just the normal flow of things. Finishing up with all of my year 12s.
Yeah.
Shunting them into the real world. Completely unprepared and unawares.
Exactly.
And then laughing hysterically.
Yes. As they have to deal with what we already dealt with.
And other breaking news, big news, important stuff, things happening, Kris.
Yes.
I finally fucking played Warhammer Space Marine 2.
Oh, finally!
I've been playing it, it's fun, I love it. There is nothing more to say on that.
Yeah.
I'm having a good time.
Yeah.
I enjoy it.
Yeah. Even after the nerfing.
You know what? I'm not gonna lie. I don't understand why you would. There is actually a PvP mode though. So
okay, fair
maybe
enough.
that's why you would. But at the same time, I don't know how fun the PvP mode is. I think the PvE and like growing out would be hilariously fun.
Oh yes.
But the PvE mode, I'm just like, I'm not sure because like it's got a lot of mechanics in it which would be hilariously fun to hang out with your bros and do. And considering the whole game is designed to be like the campaign is 3-player, the operations are 3-player, and then there's the PvP mode. Yeah. And I was like, everything seems to just be like you and your bros having fun. Yeah. And just being like Space Marines and kicking some serious ass because that's what Space Marines do. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know about the PvP mode because I'm sitting there and I'm just like, I'm just not sure if it would feel nice.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
But yeah, so I've been playing a lot of that. I'm having a fantastic time. I'm having a wonderful time. I'm actually considering playing it with my gamepad because there's a lot of controls, and I honestly don't like them on the PC.
Okay.
I don't like the finger spread, and like some of it's like reaction timing type things.
So the finger spread makes it worse.
Well, it's just like one of them's like press C, and I'm like, C is such an odd place.
It is.
Whereas the other one's like press space, and like okay, that makes sense because it's like that's where your thumb would be. But at the same time, it's like you see the thing and you're like, oh, I got to press one, and you're like,
and you missed the button you needed to press.
Yeah.
Very much like the thing I showed you earlier about them trying to figure out jump.
Yeah.
Oh, the classic button for jump.
Like I understand you can remap it, but I'm just kind of like I think gamepad would work better.
No, that is something I actually saw today on that. I don't know if I sent that to you.
What game was that?
I'm pretty sure it was 40K. The Space Marine.
But they didn't look like Space Marines.
I'm pretty sure it was.
Okay, I'm gonna try that because
we're gonna look at
jump. I would.
No, that was Elden Ring.
Oh
no! There was another thing I saw today. I thought I sent it to you, but it was like dude playing Space Marine, and he's just like, "Why the hell would you put this as this button? It's stupid. It doesn't make sense. No." And then the other guy's like, you can just remap it, right? It's like, and you're telling me I'm gonna say Supreme Leader because I can't think of what it actually is, but it's like, no, I'm not changing it. I'm not going to change what the Supreme Leader has told me to do.
The Emperor?
The Emperor, that's it.
You've got the Emperor, you've got the Primarchs.
Yeah, so...
Lord Captains.
Okay, there you go. So the Emperor is... I'm not gonna disagree with what the Emperor has said. I'm gonna leave it as is.
That's kind of brilliant, though.
It is.
But no, I'm enjoying it. I'm playing a lot of it. So it's in there being like, okay, so now I got to convince Kris to get it so that we can play multiplayer because it is just fun.
I'm going to get it. Like
it's like imagine Helldivers, except you are like
a literal tank.
Well, you're not because the bad guy's stronger.
Oh yeah, fair.
The bad guys are worse, but like imagine that except without all the tongue-in-cheek stuff.
Okay. Yeah.
And the main weapon you use, because like every other weapon has ammo, but your melee weapon doesn't. So your main weapon that you mainly use, especially when being hoarded by tiny dudes, is a fucking chainsaw.
I saw a guy clutching that shit. Holy shit, man. Everyone else had died and this dude's just like clutching. And like, what the fuck is happening?
Fucking fun game.
It looks fun, yeah.
But no, So I think I'm going to try it with the gamepad, see if that fixes my few issues where I'm just like, I'm not proficient enough mouse and keyboard. Plus, how I feel about mouse and keyboard. It's great for strategy games and that kind of stuff.
True.
But when it comes to like actual real-time action stuff, I want I want my gamepad in my hand.
No, well, that's
where
fair.
I'm at my best.
But it's not crossplay, is it?
I believe it might be.
Well, we're gonna have to look into that, because if that's the case, I might just get it on one of the consoles.
But yeah, I was gonna say, if you are thinking about getting it, I would probably go PC, just because of the longevity.
Yeah, I suppose, yeah.
But no, other than that, like, I've been playing a lot of that. I've been looking into Final Fantasies.
Yeah.
I'm kind of interested in Final Fantasy 16. Apparently, that's quite good.
Okay, yeah.
But I'm also
looked
waiting
into
for
it.
I'm also waiting for Final Fantasy Rebirth to come out on PC.
Okay, fair. Yeah.
And another one I'm actually kind of interested in waiting for to come out on PC, something called like Stellar Blade or something. It's on PS5. It's coming to the PC. It's just
I may have seen it.
it's just an action adventure game. Where you
Yeah.
play someone who's not called Stella.
Huh.
I have no idea where the Stella in the Blade comes from. I'm pretty sure you play someone called...
Has it got anything to do with space?
I don't know.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
I just know that people said it's pretty good.
I'm gonna briefly look at that.
Yeah. Other things that have kind of popped across my vision recently. Games. Obviously, I want to play a few more games.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay, yep. Definitely space orientated. From the cover.
I haven't seen the cover. I've just heard of the game. I don't own a PS5. And
Actually, you know what? I have seen a few things on this
I
game.
have no intention of buying a PS5. As I've always said, I don't want one.
It does look good. I have seen a couple things.
After hearing that it's 100% likely that a PS5 will fall on me and crush me to death, I'm not buying a PS5.
So far, it hasn't happened to me. So far.
It is hilarious, isn't it, though? Like, when the Xbox and the PS5 were coming out, like, all the PlayStation people were like, the Xbox is fucking huge. It's fucking giant. And, like, now I've, like, seen them next to each other.
Yeah,
and, like,
not
not
that
physically
bad.
next to each other, literally above each other.
Yeah.
And it's like, the Xbox is, like, this tall, about yay wide. As someone once described it, it's roughly the size of a human head. Weird metric, but fine.
Yeah.
And the PlayStation's, like, this fucking tall. And it's like, yeah, it's slim, but it's this fucking tall.
Yeah, like Jonathan walked into my room and he's looked over at the TV. He's like, "Oh, you got a PS5? Holy shit! It's almost as high as your TV."
Yeah, it's massive.
It's fucking yeah,
Fucking
it is.
huge.
It is.
But no, I think there's some pretty cool things happening in like the current gaming thing with
Yeah.
the new Xbox release soon or already done. The
I think
Galaxy, the
I'm not
Galaxy
sure.
Black or whatever it's called, the one that I'm like, yeah, I can spend $999 on a new Xbox
Yeah.
for that sweet 2 terabytes.
Oh, yes.
Everything else, I really couldn't give a shit about.
Oh, yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair.
I'm just like, okay, it has speckly parts in it, like little lights that light up over it. I'm like, honestly, don't.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
Yes, it's got a bit of green around the bottom base. I'm like, okay, that's kind of cool, but I would actually expect that to be more on the normal system, not one that's literally called black.
Yeah, fair point.
And the controller has a strip of green on it too, and I'm like, okay.
Okay, fair enough.
Don't care about any of that. In fact, if I was being honest,
Yeah.
the one that I really like the look of is the white one,
Yeah.
but it doesn't have a disk drive in it.
Ah.
So I'm like, that's great for someone who doesn't have discs.
Yes.
I have discs. I have so many discs, and I want all my discs.
Fair. That's why I got the disc drive for the PS5 as well.
Well, have you heard about the PS5 Pro?
No. I've never looked into it.
None of them have disc drives.
Yeah, that sounds right.
But that's okay, Chris, because you can spend $80 to get a disc drive add-on.
Yeah, no.
And I'm just like, are we really that pathetic now? Are we really that dumb that we're like, people don't use discs? PlayStation, Xbox. Well, actually, again, Xbox isn't too bad because their non-disc one is like if you want a cheaper option to have the Xbox Series X. Like the normal one still exists with a disc drive. The upgraded one, the big one, it still has a disc drive.
But let's face it, when I get a
Disc
the
drive
new
is
Xbox,
standard.
when I go the new Xbox, I will probably go down the track of getting the non-disc drive one because I don't have discs for the Xbox.
Yes, and
So
all
I'm
of your
fine.
games just bought by me. Anyway,
Yeah, pretty much.
so
So
use my licensing.
exactly. So I don't have that issue. However, for the PlayStation, I have many discs.
Yeah, and that's kind of my thing.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'm not okay not having a disc drive. If I've said I'm not going to get a PlayStation 5, I'm highly unlikely. There's not a reason to in my book, because PlayStation are doing the smart thing and getting it onto the PC.
Yes.
Like, all their good games are coming out on the PC, and I'm like, sweet, absolutely brilliant, PlayStation. You're making a good move here.
Yes.
Because now I will happily spend $90 to $100 for God of War Ragnarok. But what I'm not going to do is spend $800 odd on God of War Ragnarok.
Yes. No,
I'm not buying your system. But
yeah, no, that's fair.
But so that I'm fine with that. But I do need to upgrade to my new Xbox, because obviously that's where I do most of my non-PC gaming.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of games for it. And I'm not kind of happy losing that library.
Oh, no.
The PlayStation library, I'm not happy losing either. But
most of yours is online anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's
like
we have the reverse situation.
And I don't have as I said, with me wanting to buy the new games on the PC, not in the normal standard or on the PlayStation form. As long as my PS4 works, I'm happy.
Yeah.
And as long as I know where a bunch of parts for my PS4 are at your place, I'm happy as well.
Yeah,
I
do
steal
have a PS4 that I'm
both
not
of your
using.
PS4s.
I don't have two anymore.
Then you have the Star Wars one?
No, that's the only one I've got.
Oh.
I traded in the other one to make the PS5 cheaper.
Don't know why you would waste your time. There's no point in doing that.
It saved me $100, and I wasn't using that PlayStation anyway.
Yeah, but think about it, right? If you actually thought about it, you would have realized how stupid you were. If you had kept that, you could have had, like, where you sleep, your PSs could have all formed together to become PS Voltron.
I suppose, yeah.
PS5 is obviously the body.
Well, yeah.
The PS4s become the legs.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Without a doubt.
PS3 is the head.
Yes.
PS2s are arms.
Well, of course, yeah.
And the PS1 is the brick that it throws, because it's the only thing that will probably survive being thrown.
Yeah, probably.
The rest of them would break, but that one would just be like, bam, and still work.
Yeah, 100%.
But anyway, no. My point is that basically, I have no interest in buying a PS5, because I really just prefer to play it on the PC.
Yeah.
I know that's not like the best thing, in terms of I will miss some games, because some games they will never bother porting, because they'll be like, no, that's not the reason. But at the same time, I just don't care.
Look, the games that they're not porting, I don't think you would grab them anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it's fine.
And but basically my library on the Xbox is so large, and it is my preferred gaming method. Yeah. So I always want to have an Xbox. Yeah. Plus, and this is something else that comes down to it, I have the Xbox Ultimate Game Pass. Yes. Which means I pay one price and get it on all of my systems. I might as well keep an Xbox.
Yeah. Might as well. Pretty straightforward.
And then all of my Xboxes can Voltron up.
Yeah.
Because I have one of every... I actually have, one of every Xbox in this house.
Oh, there you go.
Except an S and an X. Well, I will get an X.
I have an S.
I don't want an S.
Wait, no. I don't have the S.
You could have bought an S.
Yeah, I could have.
Which is a waste of everyone's time.
Yeah, I'm not buying an S.
But no, I have two Xbox Ones.
Yes.
Technically, I have a One X.
I have a One S.
Yes. But I have the One X that I use. Then I have two Xbox 360s. Yeah. One slim. Mm-hmm. And one that could possibly still catch the red ring of death.
Yes.
And I have an original Xbox as well.
There you go.
That all still work. Except for the one with the
possible
get the red ring.
Yeah, okay.
I don't buy that one because it could possibly get the red ring.
Yes.
And I don't think Microsoft are going to honor that warranty anymore.
Probably not.
Yes. Could you imagine calling them in the year 2025? Yeah, so I was playing my Xbox the other day, and a red ring of death on me. So could I get a replacement? Are you talking about the Series X? Because that can't do that. No, my original 360. Yeah, that one. Yeah, the one that still came with a memory card. Yeah, that's all.
Yeah, that's all.
Oh fuck. Anyway,
Oh, it'd be hilarious if they did honor that though.
Okay, what we're gonna do is we're gonna send you an Xbox 360. You know that no one's making games for them anymore. Yeah, that's all good. You know the store closed down. Yeah, that's fine. I got games for days.
It's fine.
Yeah, I'm thinking about updating. I just, I haven't really found. I'm not sure yet. I think these new systems aren't here to stay. They don't really have the staying power of the original 360.
They really don't.
Anyway, I think that's about time to wrap it up. So, guys, thank you for joining us. If you like the video, consider liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. If you've enjoyed Halloween week,
Subscribe.
give all the videos a like. Just
Do it.
they'll all be coming out in a lovely little Halloween 2024 playlist.
Yes.
So once Halloween week is done and they're all out, you can watch them all there. Everything but this podcast will be there because it will be in the podcast playlist.
Of course, yeah.
I can probably put it in YouTube playlist. I don't know how YouTube works.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Until next time, guys. I've been Darcy. He's been Kris.
Yeah. Except for that time it was Steve.
Stay classy, San Diego.
See
See ya. What? My tongue hurts.
Oh, that's right. You mentioned. Could you get the faces out?
No, my tongue hurts. It's stretching my mouth. It stretches my tongue.
Okay. Fair enough.